make it crystal clear. No secrets at night, I wanna dive in all your feelings. Would you find everything out in your skin?
Hello, Slothutations. It's Sloth here. Right? How dare he? Last video we learned a little too much more than we wanted to ever know about Morve. And this video though, we're gonna get 2 new limited time units added to the game. We're gonna get Aqua Bloom and Buckeye Miracle, Olvine and Quincy, respectively, I believe. And that means they're gonna come with their own banner, and people are gonna want to pull for them, and people are gonna, you know, I like it when people make informed decisions. And I tried to do it for Blade when Blade came out, but I did the math a little bit like the day of or the day after Blade came out. So people went crazy on day 1, okay? Now, typically what you want to do, especially for free to play, you want to make sure that when you make decisions, you make your best decision you can, because your resources are limited, they're finite. You can't get more of them unless you use stamina or you just use time, right, to get more of them. You can't use money because you're free to play. So, when a new banner comes out, when a new deal in the shop comes out, you really gotta think, is it worth it? And sometimes it's best to just kind of wait a day or 2 or 3 or 4, or do the math, okay? I'm gonna do the math for you, and then you can decide what you want to do with that information, okay? I never tell people what they should do. I just say this is what it is, and this is what worked for me, and this is what the numbers kind of say, but ultimately you have your own decision and your way you play the game. So let's take a look at it, shall we? This time I got a document. So let's take a look. Real quickly, when you go to a general banner, right? Every banner, no matter what banner it is, whether it's this rate up banner on the character, whether it's the limited banner that we're gonna get, or the general banner, the probability of an SSR is 1.6%, okay? That is about 1 in 63. You take the 100%, you divide it by 1.6, you get about 63. It's really like 62.5, but just to keep it simpler, I just said 1 in 63, okay? So, that's your chance of getting an SSR. So if you roll 63 or less rolls, or, you know, on average, it'll take you about 63 summons to get an SSR, okay? Now, if you're looking to specifically get one of these units, okay, that 0.267, that's like 1 in every 375. So if you really wanted Kuya, okay, well, you have a 1 in 63 chance it's an SSR, but because there are 6 other units, right, or 5 other units and Kuya, your actual chances of getting just Kuya is 1 in 375, okay? You take the 63, multiply it by 6, you get 375, okay? Ish. What you really do is you take 0.267 and divide it into 100, but you get the point, okay? So that's this banner, okay? What about a character rate up banner? Well, character rate up banner, like the Blade banner here, okay? It's the same. When there's a rate up doesn't mean the SSR rate's gonna go up. Nope. That's not how that works. Also gotta remember I got these new headphones that do static if I do anything but pretend to be a statue that talks. So I'm gonna try not to do the static. So it's 1.6 still, okay? So, but you'll see that instead of being 0.267, he is a 0.8%. That's half of the SSR probability. So even though you have a 1 in 63 chance of getting an SSR, half the time you get an SSR, it will be him, Okay, that's how that works. Now, I have a little document time. Okay, so on a rate up banner, again, no pity, there's no reduced cost for 10 times, there's no at least one SSR or higher on a 10 times pool. Again, the 10 times pools, nothing special about it. Okay, so a 0.8%, that's like a 1 in 25, 1 in 125 chance. Okay, and for any of the other units, let's say, okay, you wanted Kuya, and you were like, I want to get Kuya on this rate up banner. That is a 1 in 725 chance. So basically, what that means is, why in the world would you try to get Kuya on a blade banner? Okay? That's literally makes no sense mathematically. If you wanted any of these other units, do not pull on this banner with that character, okay? If you want Yakumo, Edmund, all of any of the other characters, don't pull on this banner. Okay? You pull on this banner. You'll have a better chance of it, okay? Or you can be patient, pull on things you like, and then hope that you also get, in addition to, some stuff you want, okay? Now, what we've seen in the past is that these limited event banners, 2 units are on the banner and they share the same summon pool, okay? And there's 2 things that are different. One, there's a pity. An SSR gets pulled on the 100th pool if you haven't pulled an SSR at all, okay? And so it's still 1.6% for any SSR, but now limited unit number 1 has a 0.6% chance to drop. Limited unit 2 has a 0.6% to drop. And then for any of the other non-limited time unit, that's 0.4% is left. That gets divided by the like 6 units, okay? Which, again, not that good of a chance. Why would you pull for those units specifically on a rate up banner that's not those units? You wouldn't, right? That's not what that's for. You go on the general banner or wait until there's a special rate up for them, or just be happy when like they get summoned in addition to what you're looking for as well. So here it is. You have a 1 in 84 chance of getting either of the limited time units. So a good number of summons to have then is about 84 of tickets, right? On average, you'll get at least one of them. Okay, it doesn't guarantee you anything. Again, it's the statistics. You don't get guaranteed anything. It's chance, right? If you're aiming for one, if you don't care which unit you want, you have about a 1 in 84 chance of getting any of them. But if you want one of them, then that's a 1 in 167. Okay. Now this does not account for the fact that you get an SSR on the 100th pool. Okay. So even though it says 1 in 167, right, on a 100th pool and you had no SSR, you would get an SSR. But it doesn't mean it's an limited time unit. There's a 75% chance that that SSR is going to be either one of the 2 units, but only a 75 divided by 2, 33 and a half? No, brain working. 32.5% of the time. So about a third, almost a third, right, percent chance. No, I can't math. 75 divided by 2. 2 is 3, 7, 37.5. Oh, I can't math. Okay, 37.5. Okay, so a little bit higher than a third. Okay, chance of getting just that one unit on, if it was an SSR, or on the 100th pool. Okay, so the number here is maybe not like 167. It's probably like 140, 150 when you take that into account. Okay, but my understanding of statistics is not sophisticated and knowledgeable enough to account for the SSR and 100 pool and how it affects your overall chances. So we're going to leave it at that, okay? Now, here is, so that's all that, okay? Now, let's say, what is the chances, okay, of at least getting one pool? So, on this banner, if you did 10 pulls, and you only cared about getting either one of the units, right here is that second column, chance of at least one success. Okay, oh no, so that's I guess the second column. The first column is, let's say you wanted Quincy. You were so thirsty for Quincy. Okay, he's got rope. You like being tied up. It's a match. Okay, so you are looking for his long, thick rope, right? And that's what you're rolling for. Okay. If you get to 10 summons, a 110 pull, or 10 individual ones, well, the chance that you get Quincy will be about 5.841% of the time. Not very good odds, right? Now, if you did 50 pulls, that jumps up to about 25.985%. If you did 100, you're at 45.218%. Now, there's diminishing returns for every 50, okay? Again, nothing's guaranteed. You could theoretically do 10,000 pulls and never get him because it's not a guarantee that you get him. It's just a chance. But the odds are not likely that you won't get him if you do that many. But it's, still possible. So it might be 99.999% at that time. So, as you can see, even at 300 pulls, there's still an 83.559% chance that you get them. Okay? Alrighty, and then, if I do 50 pulls, then, and I want one specific unit, then the chance of me getting them is 25.985%. And then if I do 100 pulls, the chance of me getting that one unit is 45.218%. So, if you're the kind of person who's seen those people who said, man, I did 100 pulls and I wanted White Day Edmund, but I got White Day Yakumo. Oh, well, that was bound to happen, and it's not that unlikely, right? You have a 45% chance of getting the one you want, okay? And now, if you are the kind of person who just getting either one of them would be nice, well, if you did 100 pulls, you have a 70% chance, okay? So, and then every 50 pulls after that, you get diminishing returns, and that's just how that goes, right? Because, and then what's nice is that, like, you pull, and then you have diminishing returns, because the chance of that happening statistically is kind of unlikely, so that's why you have your diminishing returns there, and there isn't as much percentage left to increase by, so that's another factor as well. So what does this say? Well, using the data, what I interpret as a conclusion is if you're going to roll in an event, don't roll a 10 pull and that's it. Okay? Even doing 50 pulls, if you're looking for just one specific one, you're probably better off just skipping this event and waiting until you have at least 100 pulls, okay, if you're aiming for one specific unit. But really, if you're aiming for one specific unit, in my experience, 60% or higher tends to be a good benchmark to have. So, because the odds are slightly in your favor, right? If you have it less than not in your favor, then more often than not, you'll lose. And even if you have 50-50, I don't like having things at 50-50 because that's like, why stack it all the way to 50-50? Just stack it more so that you win and succeed, right? Building all the way up to a 50-50 and then just losing on the 50-50, that's almost like a waste of resources, in my opinion, and time and effort. So try to get it to maybe like 60 or 65%, right? And then you have like a 2/3 chance of winning, right? So your chances of winning are almost double than not succeeding, right? Now it's easier if you happen to like or want both units, okay? If you do 100 pulls, you get 70% chance, right? Even 50 pulls is like a 45% chance. So Again, if you want one unit really badly, but you only have like 50 pools, it's still a shot in the dark. It's not guaranteed. 3 out of 4 times you will not get the unit. I think it's going to be like 2 out of the 4 times you're not going to get any of the units. One of the time you'll get the other unit, and then that one time you'll get the unit, right? So be careful, okay? But for those of you who don't mind which unit you get, 50 is decent, but 100 is definitely safe bet for that, okay? So about 125 to 150 is pretty good for a single unit you want, and 100 is pretty good. Like 75 to 100 is pretty good for if you want either of them. Okay? And yeah, now that doesn't take into consideration that you get an SSR on the 100th pool, because this is just the statistics of, the success, right? Being a 1.6 for any SSR, right? But a 0.6 or 1 in 167 for the limited time unit. That makes it so that you don't have the left tail of the unlucky side. So, I'll do another video on that, okay? But yeah, so there you go. Hopefully that's helpful for you in your decision making, right? All right, I need to go feed Morvay. I got some jars to fill up, if you know what I mean. All right, thanks guys. Remember, if a sloth can do it, so can you.